Nirvana players finally getting their CC. And it's actually a really game-changing one at that. Although it does introduce like more bricks to the deck, but I'm sure that Nirvana players out there could overcome this bricking situation. This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharos cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharos cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I'm Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. In this video, we will be going through quite possibly the right deck that desperately needs a countercharger, which they actually receive for, in the BT10, and that is the Nirvana deck, Nirvana Jiva to be precise. Now this deck has been like the bottom of the barrel in a sense for Dragon Empire for so long due to how unusable some of their kit has, but luckily Mirror's Vairina does provide them with the much needed countercharger, and it does not only countercharge one, it actually countercharges twice, provided if you have the Vairina as the resources in the original dress. Let's take a look. And of course, Mirror Reflection equip Mirror's Vairina crossover dress with one Trickstar and one Prayer Drag. Although when this unit is placed on rearguard circle by crossover dress, choose up to 2 cards with Vairina in their card names from your drop, put them as this unit's original dress. Third skill, auto rearguard circle. When this unit attacks, if this unit is in the crossover dress state, this unit gets 10k power until the end of that battle. Then put one of this unit's original dress with Vairina in its card name into the drop and perform draw a card or countercharge one. Vairina's or Nirvana players have been raging and yelling to Bushiroad to give them a countercharger, which they desperately need. Each and every card that they have at the moment costs 1 counterblast, which it's not that great. Luckily, this card provides not 1 but 2 countercharge, which is actually huge. On crossover dress, you're able to choose 2 Vairinas from the drop zone to be put as this unit's original dress as some form of resources. This is basically Bushiroad's way of limiting how much resources you're able to get. In Mirror's Vairina's case, you are only able to activate the third skill twice, since the cost here is putting 1 Vairina from the original dress to drop zone, which does brings like a new design into what balancing the whole mechanic. Otherwise, it will either be too powerful or too useless to the point where it does not really matter. But this one I think is very well designed. And what's more, this card can be recycled with Blitz Vairina for sustainability, because Blitz Vairina, you're able to recycle whatever crossover dress is in a drop, and since this card is a crossover dress, you're able to keep recycling your Mirror's Vairina, which in turn you don't necessarily have to run a lot of Mirror's Vairina, although he does provide you like a very good sustainability, but he isn't really an attacker. The attacker cards basically goes to either your overdress stuff or Garo Vairina. Those two are much more better attacker than this guy here, but still this card is still a decent attacker if you do find yourself out of attacker. He by himself is a 20k attacker with the choice of either you drawing or you countercharge, which is super good, provided if you do restand Mirror's Vairina with Nirvana Jiva. Depending on how your counterblast usage, the draw is actually really good, because the whole crossover dress mechanic isn't really hand size friendly, because you do need to sacrifice like 3 hand to get 1 rearguard, so the hand size problem is very prevalent inside Nirvana Jiva deck. This card giving you the draw is just very nice. And what's more, since this card is a grade 2, you can always just intercept this card away once all of the resources have been exhausted, which is actually a very well designed aspect of this card. Although it's a measly 5k shield, but this card is not doing much after you spend all of the Vairinas in the original dress, that is. So yeah, an excellent card to get if you are a Vairina player. This will give significant power boost to Nirvana Jiva deck deck and could quite possibly see some top for Nirvana Jiva. I mean, it's not like Nirvana Jiva is doing bad, it's just not topping. The only problem here is the consistency of you getting into your Vairinas. We have a lot of Vairinas form, but the only problem here is the consistency of getting into those Vairinas, like certain specific Vairinas you want for, you know, specific scenarios, which lead us to the next card. Illuminate Equipped Dragon Graillumirror. Although when this card becomes an original dress, costs Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards with Vairina in their card name from among them, reveal them and choose up to 1 of the reveal cards, put it into your hand, discard the rest of the reveal cards and shuffle your deck. So this is basically like the consistency unit for getting your Vairinas as well as setting up the drop zone, because most of the time you won't have like 2 Vairinas in the drop zone, but thanks to this card, whenever you cross over dress, you could in a sense activate this card's skill first and then activate Mirror's Vairina skill. By you activating this card, you're able to hopefully set up 1 Vairinas in the drop zone to be then put into Mirror's Vairina's original dress, which is a very nice interaction between cards. And not only that, this card only specifically targets Vairina, which means that you are able to still get the overdressed Vairinas, for example Vairina Arcus as well as Expecta. I mean, if you do play those decks and if you do want to play like the 6 attack order card, it's still a very nice consistency card for that build. Because right now the problem for the whole 6 attack combo of Vairina is that the consistency isn't really there. This card really helps with that, and I'm sure people will try to find ways making the whole deck work, but this card is quite possibly one of the key ingredients that is missing from the current 6 attack combo build. And finally, something that is inside Nirvana's kit that doesn't cost a counter blast. This costing 1 soul blast is very nice in terms of, you know, relieving some of the counter blast usage, which will make the deck a little bit more playable. It's still going to cost you quite a bit of counter blast, but thanks to Mirror's Vairina as well as this card stepping away from costing 1 counter blast is actually very nice. So a triple R and a double R for the main character's deck. Yeah, just get it. It's really good. Next up, we have Great Flame Axe of Magnificent skills, Calgafran. He is basically the generic right face discard card, so we're just gonna move on to the second skill. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you personal right this turn, cost counter blast 1, retire all of your opponent's rearguard in the same column as this unit. So this, like I said, is a generic right face discard skill. We're basically gonna get 1 for every single nation, including Lyrical Monastery, which was actually introduced like, you know, last week. I mean, during the time that this video has been recorded. I am very late, I know. This card is very nice, especially on the retiring part, because this retire actually bypass any on target skill, meaning that cards that has like a resist skill, I mean those cards that could not be chosen by effects, this card just ignore that and just straight away retires it. Maybe except Eva Research Order, because, you know, Eva's Research Order prevents the 2 Obscurite in the front row to not be able to be retired. So yeah, it sucks, but what can you do? Any skills that prevents you from actually target those to retire, this card just doesn't care. For example, if you want to retire an opponent's Trickstar on the rearguard circle, you can go ahead and use this card to retire it if you call it in the same row. Gandiva will definitely love this card, because more retire for Gandiva means more cards being bind to the bind zone, which in turn powers up the front row. Disgusting. Lastly, we have Strenuous Bomber Dragon. Auto rearguard circle. When this unit boosts, cost discard a card from hand, choose 1 of your Vanguard, and this unit gets 2k power until the end of that battle for every 2 of that unit's grade. Now on first glance, you're gonna ask yourself, why the hell are you including this common card, which does not really do anything other than being inside a Griffogilla deck here as possibly one of the major support. There is a really good reason that I'm including this card here, is because yes, it's more so for Griffogilla. You get a 10k power for Griffogilla because, you know, for every 2 grades, and Griffogilla is a grade 10. The 2k power is also quite nice, which will in turn makes this a 10k power inside a normal right deck. Inside a Griffogilla deck, this is an 18k booster, which is very nice. You could superior call this with the Dragon Tree marker, provided if you retire anything. The main selling point of this card is comboing this card with Perforate Burner Dragon. Perforate Burner Dragon is only able to activate his skill if you discard something during your battle phase. Since Strenuous Bomber Dragon here activates his skill during the battle phase, you're able to make Perforate Burner Dragon the cost for this unit to gain a 2k power, which in turn provides you with a soul as well as 5k to the Vanguard. Is actually not that bad if you ask me. You can turn one of your hand into a resources is just really good. Although you do need to -1 in a sense. This card is probably going to make Perforate Burner Dragon really usable. In the long run, maybe not so much, but yeah, I'm just putting this card here to let you know that this combo is actually not bad. It might be bad in the long run, but still not bad. And that is all for this video. There's not much support for Nirvana Jiva in this set, but the support that Nirvana Jiva gets is really good. Do like and subscribe if you like this video, and of course during the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.